And Hollywoodbets Dolphins on top of the log with 3 wins from 3. No real carry there through to the keeper. And the story of the toss, the 6-gun grill garden route Badgers winning the toss and putting the Hollywoodbets Dolphins into bat. Nicolene Janse van Rensburg captaining the Badgers today, and Nondomiso Shangase, national side player, captaining the Dolphins. In the air and safe, and they will get through for a single, so that's de Klerk off the mark in an aerial fashion through extra, and now Alex Candler will face her first ball. 21-year-old, she's the vice captain of the side, and I mentioned that she was at Howick High and actually set a record in South Africa, became the first girl to captain a first team cricket side in South Africa. She captained the boys at Howick High, and I know several players who campaigned alongside her, and they all said how technically proficient she was at an early age. Played for South Africa under-19s at the age of 15, and now trying to fight her way into the national side through weight of runs. She's had a very good season so far. She's now off the mark with that single, so it's 2 without loss here at the Chartsworth Oval, and we're in the first over. A little bit of put it down. That was a genuine chance for Marte. It came at a very nicely catchable height, and she's distressed that she hasn't managed to pull that one in, because that really was a little bit of a gift. But it's gone down, nothing that can be done about it now. That's the end of the first over, so 2 runs from it. And the Hollywoodbets Dolphins put into bat, 2 without loss. Who's bowling now? Will bowl the next over from the north end of the ground. Annery, national side player, 23 years old now, and has played in 19 T20 internationals, so very much a key member of this Badgers side. And she's moved first slip out to Gully. Gully fielder is Jana Nell, wearing the number 41. And here is Dirksen to bowl her first ball. Nice and full, and was a chance of a run there, but deciding to stay where they were. Alex Candler on strike now. Her father's here watching her today. He's a former Zimbabwean national side player. Now that should be at least 2. It's a slow outfield. There's been quite a lot of rain, and they have brought the boundaries in. They come back, and they've actually managed to run 3 there, and that's excellent running. So it's 5 without loss. Candler on 4 and de Klerk on 1. That's nicely played. There is a third man. They'll come through for 1, so lots of applause coming from the dugout. There's a good start for the Dolphins. I'm sure they would have been very happy to set a target, having been put into bat by the Badgers. They're in good form as a side, both in 20-over cricket. They're the defending champions in 50-over cricket. in the air and safe. Has she got enough on that? And it is the first boundary. So good hit over the top of mid-off from Alex Candler. And she's made a good fluent start to the innings. Candler's in very good nick with the bat this year. Has made a 43, a 55 not out and a 68 in her last 4 innings. That's neatly played. Should be 2 here. They need to push hard and they will. And that's very good running. Yeah, big gaps on that onside. It's a 6-3 offside field. Beg your pardon, I've just spotted long leg. It's actually a 5-4 with 2 players on the boundary on the onside, both of them behind square, deep backward square and a long leg for the bowling of Dirksen. That's a dot ball, well bowled. And hints of a little bit of swing for Dirksen in that second over. And at the end of over number 2, the Hollywoodbets Dolphins 12 without loss. Umpires today, Mohammed Juma and Simi Shabangu. And it's a privilege to be here at the Chartsworth Oval. First time for me. Heard a lot about it as a ground. And this game originally down to be played at Kingsmead and moved. So Jane Vinster is going to bowl the next over, taking over from Marte. And this is interesting because she's an off-break bowler. I don't often see the spinners bowling within the power play, but an exception here. That's a good hit, and that will be 4. So first ball faced, and a really good sweep shot there. Slog sweep from Nicole de Klerk, getting the off spinner away to the square leg boundary. So really good start this from the Hollywoodbets Dolphins. A couple of boundaries. They're rotating the strike well. These 2 players know each other very well. Mentioned that they were at school together and have come through the ranks at the Dolphins together as well. No, still nobody but behind the square on the onside, and that's gone through mid-wicket. 2 players converging on it, but she's got a lot of it, and that's a really good piece of fielding out in the deep there. It looked like Abrahams with the sprawling dive and getting a bit of help from Mijan Buerta. So 6 runs off the first 2 balls, lots of air off the 3rd delivery, and can't make anything of that. This time a little bit flatter. So that's a good recovery from Vinster. It's got a crowded offside field, everybody saving 1. Oh, and that's in the air. And it is gone for 4. So, again, I was a little bit surprised that they hadn't moved square leg back. And rather they had a long on and a mid-wicket on the boundary. And a good shot from Nicole de Klerk. Her second boundary. She moves to 12. So 3 dot balls and 3 hits in that over, and it was worth 10 in total for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins, and an increasingly good start for them. So 3 overs gone. It's 22 without loss, with Candler on 10, de Klerk on 12. And looks like we've got another bowling change. Who we got? Mate again. So Kaya Mate is changing ends. Bowled an over from this southern end. She's turned around now. She'll be running into the breeze from that end. Very nearly got a wicket with her final ball of her first over. Caught and bowled chance that went down. Whoops. Aborted takeoff. That's a good shot. Chance of 2 here if they push hard. No, that's a decision not to take on the arm. So single for Candler. Run saving field with 7 players inside the circle, becoming 8 now, and we've got a long off and a long on for Nicole de Klerk, and she will bring long off into action with that shot. Nice technique there, keeping the ball along the ground. Mentioned that there's been a fair bit of rain recently. The outfield's quite soft, and the boundary fielders are going to have to be on their games for a ball hit along the ground, because it's not necessarily going to race to them. Candler will pick up one more. So the 2 opening bats for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins quite happy to push the ball straight and take the runs on offer. Total now 25, and batsmen are rotating the strike well. That's well fielded. Yeah, keeping Alex Candler off honest at the non-striker's end there. Ball bounced nicely for the fielder at mid-wicket. Keeper is Nadine Moodley. Now they think about a run, but not on the misfield. I wonder whether that was half a chance. It's certainly hurt Mate. She stretched her hand down. Might have been a bump ball. In the air, and it's going to fall safe between the 2 converging fielders. So a little bit of a slog there from Nicole de Klerk, and she rehearses a better looking shot. But, that's the end of the 4th over. Total is 26 without loss. Hollywoodbets Dolphins put into bat by the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers. Don't forget, England will be here to play a series of matches against the South African ladies in the next few weeks. Sri Lanka will be playing against the men's team. The first test match will be in Durban at the end of November. And the two tests that South Africa are playing against Sri Lanka become very important. Nicoline Janssen van Rensburg comes to this end to bowl her second over. Yes, I'm mentioning those Sri Lankan test matches. Of course, South Africa currently lying 5th in the test table, but with a very good chance of leapfrogging a few sides and getting into the Test Championship final. And they really have fought themselves into a very good position of the Proteas. So here's Janssen van Rensburg, full toss, and batsman will be a little bit disappointed she didn't make more of that. Janssen van Rensburg signed from the Titans this year by the Badgers. That's a good hit. Should just be one, even though there's a little bit of a spill by the fielder coming in, Mijane Botha. Badgers play their cricket in Oudtshoorn, in the Karoo. Yeah, that's well played. A little bit of swing and just held that one back a little bit, but nicely leaned on by Alex Candler. Looks a good player. Stands up straight at the crease and seems to have a lot of time to play. Oh, hit the stumps, and that has cost them a couple of runs. No hand on it from the bowler, but that was beautifully struck, straight down the ground, and sometimes the stumps end up being the best fielder. Nicole de Klerk will be disappointed to miss out there. Nicole's also in decent form, got 39 in the 50 over game in Bloem 2 weeks ago. A little bit of bottom hand coming in there. I think she was trying to pierce that gap between mid-off and extra and just dragged it to long on instead, but they all count. 29 without loss now. Dolphins put into bat. Coming to the end of the 5th over. Outrageous slower ball there, looping at a good full length, and Candler deciding discretion is the better part of valor on that occasion. So 5 overs gone, and it is 29 without loss, with Nicole de Klerk on 16, Alex Candler on 13, and plenty of batting to come for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins. Due in next will be Courtney Gounden. And Giselle Abrahams coming into the attack to bowl over number 6. She took 2 for 19 against the Lions in a T20 in October. That's well struck, but there is a fielder out there, so it's only a single. Oh, it's a no ball, free hit. Oh, well, you don't like to have no balls from your spinners. I wonder whether that's a fielding error. I think they might have had an extra player on the boundary there rather than an overstep. Whatever, it's a free hit for the Dolphins. Oh, and that'll be a wide, so the free hit will have to be bowled again. Alex Candler wisely not essaying a shot there. So free hit is reiterated by umpire Juma. And this time, that's a good shot. She's got it away over mid-off and down to the extra cover boundary for 4. That's how to deal with a free hit. Good batting from Alex Candler. So 36 without loss now. And that's going to be 4 more. That's a really good sweep. Bad ball. Way wide of the leg stump. And Candler didn't miss out. Sometimes easy to hit over the top of the ball for those wide ones down the leg side, but no mistake from Candler. Looking to force her way into contention for the national side. Played for the under-19s a couple of years ago, and weight of runs will make a difference, I'm sure. More than anything else, she looks very well organised. That's a good piece of fielding to stop the extra run. Was Annery Dirksen with the sprawling stop. So this is a really good start for the Dolphins. Put into bat, 41 without loss. We're in the 6th over. In the air, and oh, nasty bounce. Chance for 2 here if they push hard. No, they decide against it. Yeah, actually not a bad arm coming in. Pleasant day here in Chatsworth. Temperature around 23, 24 degrees. That's going to be more runs. It's a long, long chase. They'll come back for 2. Yeah, good throw from the deep there. From Janse van Rensburg. So, not the best of overs, this one. Boundary fielder gets quickly to the ball and just the single, but expensive over that. And Hollywoodbets Dolphins chasing the half century here with Nicole de Klerk on 18, Alex Candler on 25. Dirksen's going to continue. I beg your pardon, this is Janse van Rensburg continuing. So bowling her 3rd over now, getting a little bit of advice on field placing from Kayakazi Mate. It's 3rd. You sure? So Candler on strike. Neatly pushed away into the offside. Very impressed by Alex Candler. Good technique. Not looking to push the ball or hit the ball too hard there. Just put it into the gap take the run that's there. So the power play is over. This is the 7th over, which means that we can have an extra couple of fielders on the boundary. We've got a long off and a long on and a deep mid wicket. Everybody else is saving one, including third man inside the circle. Oh, it's beaten the diving fielder there. Just one. It'll bring Candler back on strike. De Klerk moves to 19. That's a lovely shot. Just waited for the ball, steered it behind square on the offside and back for 2. Really is excellent batting. Yeah, very pleasant conditions for game of cricket. Overcast, as happens more often than not at this time of the year in Durban. Cooling breeze. It's very pleasant, 23, 24 degrees. That's a good, again, nice top hand. Just pushing it to long on, and that brings up the half century for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins. And it comes in the 7th over. So really good start for them, hovering around that 8, 9 and over mark. Full toss. Mid wicket has got a long way to go. She's not going to get there. That's 4. Bad ball. Got what it deserved. And these two, having put on the half century stand, I think now are going to really try and increase the run rate, put up a very sizable total. So Candler now on 29. De Klerk on 23. 7 overs of the 20 gone. Garden Route Badgers winning the toss, putting the Dolphins into bat. The bowling attack has not looked terribly threatening. Just waiting to see who's going to bowl this next over, and it will be Yana Nell. She's 34-year-old and bowls a little bit of off spin, I believe. Actually played 3 T20 internationals for South Africa way back in 2010. That will be one more to the total, which goes to 55. The beginning of the 8th over. In the air, but safe, and 4. Good shot. Nicole de Klerk and her batting partner Alex Candler are really beginning to increase the rate now. now got 4 fielders on the boundary. Long off, long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square. That'll be a wide down the leg side, actually well taken. Nadine Moodley doing good work behind the stumps. Well, that was interesting. Ball given lots of air by Ananel, and de Klerk was trying to reverse sweep it. It's not a bad call actually, because there's nobody down at third man. This time she sends it through square leg for 1. That's neatly played by Candler. Yeah, these two are really making it look a simple task, and a big total staring in the face of the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers if they can't manage to slow this scoring rate. The best way to do that, of course, is to pick up a wicket. Oh, and the 2 players entered discussions upon a run there. It was an easy walk, really, and Nicole de Klerk got more than halfway down the pitch before realising that Alex Candler has said, no, I'm not coming. And it could have been a horrible end to a very good partnership, but they've recovered no problem. So end of the 8th over, 62 without loss, with Candler on 31, de Klerk on 28. And looks like we've got Yolandi Simon coming into the attack now. Probably off spin. Let's keep an eye. Maybe leg spin. Well, lots of air. It's a full toss, and 1 more to the total. Teasing pace off makes it harder to play the big shots. And the batters must beware of getting frustrated. So 3 dot balls, and that's been very rare in this game so far. Yolandi Simon doing a good job for the Badgers. Again, no pace, and you're through the shot almost before the balls arrive. 1 more to the total, but this is an outstanding over from Yolandi Simon. Just 1 run from 4 deliveries. Can she close it out and just apply a little bit of pressure? Sun trying to peep through at the Chatsworth Oval, but it's a cloudy day generally. And that's a good shot. So 3 runs, 3 singles off the over, and that's a really good first over from Yolandi Simon. Mostly low full tosses, sometimes a very difficult ball to cope with when you're trying to increase the scoring rate. 66 without loss now. Both batters in the 30s. And a second over for Jana Nel. Oh, de Klerk was late in setting off, and she's done well in the end. Oh, they're going to get an overthrow. That'll be disappointing for the fielding side. So 2 runs for de Klerk. Quicker ball this time, and well hit. They should get 2 more here. It's a long chase around the long off boundary. Good throw comes in, and another good couple of runs. So this partnership is growing. It's into the 70s now. And no real threat from any of the bowlers. Oh, she's done well there, picked her spot. Only going to be worth 1. There are 2 fielders on the boundary in the mid-wicket region. Went over the head of the fielder saving 1, Annerie Dirksen. Alex Candler will say that she picked her spot there. Oops, we've got a problem. I think it's Dirksen who's injured herself in the process of trying to field that ball. The physio's coming on. Not quite sure what happened there. The 2 bats women are taking on a little bit of liquid while we've got this break. And I'm sure it's getting a little bit uncomfortable under the helmets out there. So Dirksen getting a bit of magic spray. I think she probably fell heavily in that dive, trying to get a hand on a possible catch. So I was mentioning the international cricket that's coming your way. Anything, any questions that you have of South African cricket, one website to go to, cricket.co.za. You can't forget a website as simple as that, cricket.co.za. All of the latest updates on specials, on tickets, on what you can win, and crucially, of course, on all of the Cricket South Africa competitions being played by both men and women. And we're ready to go again, continuing the 10th over. Alex Candler on strike, facing Liana Nel. Well fielded. I mentioned Harrick High producing these 2 ladies, and of course their most famous cricketing son, Neil Johnson, who played many games in all formats for Zimbabwe and scored a memorable World Cup 100 at Lords against Australia. And I know Jono very well. He'll have that on his gravestone one day. So a little bit of control coming back for the Badgers with the ball that much older. All the pace being taken off, and it's now showing itself to be quite a difficult pitch to score quickly on when there's no pace on the ball. So 71 off 10, halfway mark, so they'll be aiming at least doubling that score. 140 will be base camp, I would suggest. 150 to 160 would be a good score. But as I mentioned, run scoring will become just a little bit more difficult as the ball gets older and there's absolutely no pace on the ball. This is Yolandi Simon. That's a good hit into the gap between the two boundary riders. They come back for two, and that will take Nicole de Klerk up to 37. Partnership is now worth 73. Good reverse sweep. That really is excellent. It's gone for four. Yeah, well applauded by the dugout. That'll take her into the 40s. One of her best scores of the season, Nicole de Klerk. This time more orthodox through square leg. Chance of two here. Yeah, it was really well placed, and she didn't hit it too hard. So after that quiet period, the batsmen are back on top again in this 11th over. Full toss, and oh, very nearly caught. That was a great effort by the diving Dirksen. You might catch one of those in 50. Ball was dipping at her feet. Got close enough to feel that maybe she should have taken that one. Just good technique there from Candler, pushing the ball straight down the pitch for one more. She'll steal the strike. That takes her to 35. The total 81 off 11 overs. That run rate still hovering around the 7 mark. Jane Vinster to bowl her second over. It has been nothing but spin and slow spin since the end of the power play. Lots of space, so even though that was in the air, it was well placed, and noticeable that Alex Candler is trying to give the strike to Nicole de Klerk, who's in great form now. Oh, good hit. It's only worth one, but the way she waited for the ball, and it was a good sound off the bat. That'll take her to 45. This should be two. Candler knows it. She's off very quickly. De Klerk is coming to the danger end, but she gets home comfortably. It was hit very straight, and the two fielders at long off and long on had a long way to go. A bit of turn there from Vinster. There really hasn't been too much threat from the bowling. Had one genuine chance missed by Marte in her first over. Caught and bowled effort that went in and went out again. And other than that, oh dear. So that ball almost coming down with snow on it from the bowler, and Alex Candler is disgusted that she didn't manage to get it away for runs. So 85 off 12 now. Candler on 37, de Klerk on 45. For de Klerk, and that's not where you want to bowl. He's got away with it really, because that's a leg by. Yeah, rehearses the shot that she would have liked to have played. Four players on the offside, saving one. Cover on the boundary. Mid on, long leg, deep backward square, mid wicket on the boundary. Thrashing a little bit of life out of the pitch there, Dirksen. '23-year-old has played in 19 T20 internationals. Nothing to really speak of at ground level. Nothing to really speak of at ground level. That'll pick out deep backward square, one more. So batters will just be a little bit antsy that they haven't found the boundary for a little while. And from a bowling side perspective, that's when you can get people out, when they try and play shots that aren't necessary. Full toss, one more. So you might say that Dirksen bowling to her field. It's got three players on the onside boundary, and it's hard work trying to clear them. Now, for the last couple of balls, she's going to bring fine leg into the circle and move mid on back to long on. Well, she could have left that and taken the wide, but decided to go for the shot. De Klerk races back for two. And That's the end of over number 13, taking the Hollywoodbets Dolphin score into the 90s. 7 overs remaining to try and really crank it up from here. 10 wickets in hand, but they'll be in a situation now where they don't want to get out because a new player coming in isn't going to score as quickly. De Klerk is on the edge of a half century at 48. Candler on 39. And it'll be Candler on strike for this next over. So Vinster continues at the north end of the ground. One more, and that'll give the strike to De Klerk, who's looking for the shot that will take her to a richly deserved half century. Oh, it's gone past the bowler and just one. So singles off the first 3 balls of the over. De Klerk will want one more single for the half century. I suspect once she gets there, she's really going to be hitting out. Well placed. Chance of 2 here. They decide against it. And half century comes up for Nicole De Klerk. Very well played. Four boundaries, but really an example of a good opening partnership, just rotating the strike, hit the bad ball, but make sure that you don't stay at one end for too long. Candler will make it one more, and she will be looking at half century now as she moves to 42. Partnership is worth 96. Oh, this might go all the way. Yeah, 6 runs. That's the first maximum. I did say she might start hitting out once she got 50. Well, what about that? That's a big hit. Over the head of the fielder on the boundary. And that means 11 off the over. It was looking like one of those tighter overs, but a 6 always changes the complexion. It brought up the century stand as well for these two, and so we're in record setting territory, I suspect, at 102 without loss after 14 overs. Kazi Marte is coming back into the attack now. She's bowled 2 one-over spells. This will be her 3rd over of 4. And really the Badgers have got to find a way to break this partnership now, because these two are really looking to press the accelerator from this stage. Just hasn't been any threat from the bowling. That's been the biggest problem. Marte bowling over number 15. Good running. Fielder around the corner is saving one, but at this stage of the innings it'll be tip and run. Oh, picks out the fielder on that occasion. It's a nice sweep. She looks good sweeping, does Nicole de Klerk. 25-year-old. It's into the gap, and that is going to be 4 more. She targeted that empty expanse through square on the onside. Didn't get all of it, but enough for the boundary. And she moves into the 60s. Is there time for her to get 100? I doubt it, but boundaries will solve everything. One more. That's such good batting. Hit a boundary, take a single. One of the oldest maxims. Takes the score to 108 in this 15th over. Top ball, haven't seen any of those for a while. Well, the Garden Route Badgers already know that they're going to be chasing a sizable score. How sizable is the question? That'll take Candler up to 44. It's the end of the 15th over. So 5 remaining, 109 without loss. The Dolphins put into bat in this T20 league game, and the Dolphins winning all 3 of their previous T20 games this season, and on top of the table, and a really good start with the bat. Let's see whether they can follow up with the ball a little bit later. Looks like Vinster is going to continue at the far end from us. Just never been any pressure on the batters. Round arm on that occasion. And Candler moves to 45. De Klerk will be looking for the big hits now. And there's one into the gap. Should get 2 here. Yep, back they come. Run rate still hovering between 7 and 8. They really can afford to play a shotter ball from here. This time picks out the one fielder on the onside, saving the single. Reverse sweep this time, and is sent back. Yeah, wisely so. Good piece of fielding at short third there. That was Vuelweto Bonya at short third man. Well fielded. Oh, non-striker. Candler having to sprawl to regain her ground. So just a little bit of a tighter over from Vinster. Oh, good hit. Into the gap, 4 more. That's the end of the 16th over. And the Hollywoodbets Dolphins move to 116 without loss. De Klerk moves to 67. Candler on 45. Looks like Marte is going to bowl her final over. So Candler on strike, moving inexorably towards another half century. In fact, we do have a change of bowling. It's Michaela Andrews into the attack now for the first time. Keeper is standing up. Can see the nervous tension out there. In some ways the Badgers will feel that they haven't let it get out of hand, and the Dolphins will feel that they really need to press the accelerator for these last 4 overs. Ooh, was that a drop? Beat the outside edge without taking the edge, I think. One more. That'll take Canada to 46. And now de Klerk will be teeing off here. Looks like they're going to bowl quite straight to de Klerk. There's nobody on the boundary on the offside. Sorry, there is a long off. So at least there is a plan out there, looking to restrict the areas in which de Klerk can score runs. For Candler, they do put the extra player on the offside boundary, on the cover boundary. They've got a long off as well, 3 saving 1 inside the circle. That's well placed. Thinking about 2, yeah, they're coming. Yeah, and that's good running to the danger end from Nicole de Klerk. She called Candler through, and that'll take Candler up to 48. Looking for her 3rd half century in her last 5 innings. She's also got a 43 in there, so in a rich vein of form, Alex Candler. End of the over, 3 remaining. It's 120 without loss. Hollywoodbets Dolphins put into bat, and it's been a superb exhibition of batting from these 2 ladies, Nicole de Klerk and Alex Candler. Looks like Janse van Rensburg will bowl over number 18. Yep, confirmation of that, Nicolene Janse van Rensburg. Oh, bowled. And that's the end of what was a really good partnership. 120 for the first wicket. And Nicole de Klerk looking to just tickle the ball into the onside. But she's now gone for 68. Bowled by Janse van Rensburg. And that is 120 for 1. First ball of the 18th over. Yeah, well-deserved applause from her teammates. New player is Yasmin Khan, 25-year-old, has captained Namibia in international cricket. And she will have no time to set out her stall. Gonna just have to try and put a bat on it and rotate the strike and leave it to Candler to try and get the Hollywoodbets Dolphins to a very defendable score. Nicely off the middle of the bat from the first ball, but couldn't pierce the field. Jana Nel behind square on the offside. In the air and safe, and 4. 1 bounce 4. What a good shot to get off the mark from Yasmin Khan. Yeah, she really did middle that. Just a thought of an LBW shout there, but I'm sure it was missing leg. And more than anything else, they were trying to stop the batsman crossing. Oh, there's another big hit. There is a player there, and a very, very brave effort to get under that. The ball was dipping all the time. And in the end, that's an excellent piece of fielding. Not even going to say that that's a drop at all. She really has started like a train as Yasmin Khan, and she's stolen the strike at the end of over number 18. But she's taken 7 runs since coming in after the fall of the only wicket of the innings so far. Nicole de Klerk, bowled by Nicoline Janssen van Rensburg for 68. Looks like Andrews will bowl her second over now. Yep, confirmation of that. Michaela Andrews bowling to Yasmin Khan. I mentioned that she played for Namibia, but born in George. Moved to Namibia at the age of 1. Ooh, he's got hold of that. Oh, dropped and 4. Oh, that's disappointing in the field. Bowler's done the hard work there and drawn the full stroke. Fielder coming in, just couldn't get a hand on it. And to add insult to injury, the ball went for 4. It's a really good little cameo this from Yasmin Khan. She's missed that one, but they'll race through for a bye. Yep, must have got a little nick on it. Umpire hasn't made a signal. So that'll bring Lisa Candler, that's the name of her mother, Alex Candler on strike. Standing on 48 not out. Oh, good shot for none. It's one of those things, she's lost strike over the last couple of overs. You just see the frustration building up in Alex Candler. She knows that she only wants 2 for the half century, but she also knows that there are hardly any balls left in the innings and she really needs to get on with it. 132 for 1, the Dolphins. That's a good shot. Thinking of 2 here. Yasmin Khan is coming back, and there it is, half century for Alex Candler. Very well played. The more correct of the 2 opening batters. Like the way that she hits the ball straight down the ground as her go-to shot. And so both openers making the half century, and Candler will look for the big shot now. Oh, and there it goes, up in the air, falling safe. They'll come back for 2. And that's the end of over number 19. So 1 to go. 136 for 1. The Dolphins. Candler on 50. Khan on 12. And the player out. Nicole de Klerk bowled by Nicoline Janse van Rensburg for 68. So who's going to get the last over? It's going to be Dirksen, Annery Dirksen. Yeah. Very experienced. And I would imagine that the Dolphins wouldn't want to settle for less than double figures in this final over. Of course, if Dirksen bowls well, she could keep the runs down. In fact, Dirksen's given up the ball. She was going to bowl the last over, but it's now going to be bowled by Kaya Mate. She'll be bowling to Yasmin Khan. Last over of the innings. It's gone a long way in the air. Is it going to go all the way? No, it comes down like a wedge. And they get back for 2. So even with a bit of breeze behind it, not enough to carry it over the boundary. But I've been very impressed by Yasmin Khan. Came in after a century opening partnership with no time to play herself in at all, and she's really middled the ball well. And that will be 4. That's a great shot. Got into position early, just got enough bat on it to take it down to long leg for 4. So 6 off 2 in this final over. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the Dolphins. And Yasmin Khan's played a great little hand here. And it's bowled. Off stump, just leaning back, but she's done her job. 18 off, much better than a runner ball. Khan has gone. Bowled by Mate for 18, and it is 142 for 2 in the 20th over. So, captain of the Hollywoodbets Dolphins coming out to bat now, Nondabiso Shangase, and good applause for Yasmin Khan, who deserves a little bit of applause because she's played really well. Came in, took the strike, took the pressure off Candler, who was hovering around the half-century mark, and struck the ball really well. So the 28-year-old Shangase leading the Dolphins today. She's played 10 T20 internationals, made a South African debut in 2019. Yeah, hit it straight to the fielder, but they'd had a chat, the 2 batters, basically saying, whatever happens, I'm coming. And Alex Candler will have 2 balls to try and increase the total. It's 143 for 2 now. And putting to bat, the Dolphins will be very happy with that score. They will feel that it's eminently defendable. And is this going to be a chance? Oh, what a catch! What a catch on the long-on boundary. And that's the end of Alex Candler for a really well-made 52. And Marte picks up 2 wickets in the final over. So, last ball of the innings will be faced by Courtney Gounden. And Alex Candler will get good applause from the dugout. Carries on her rich vein of form with 3 half-centuries and a 43 in her last 5 innings. And she and her opening partner, Nicole de Klerk, have put the Dolphins into a really powerful position in this match. At 143 for 3, 1 ball remaining. Courtney Gounden will face it from Kaya Marte. Schooled around the corner from here at Arena Park. Oh, that's a good shot. Will they try and come back for 2? Yes, they will. And the run out is affected, so it's only a single. And the innings finishes at 144. So Gounden is run out for a single. 144 for 4 is the final score for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins. They'll be a little bit disappointed that they couldn't push that score up to the 150 mark. They were 71 without loss at the halfway mark, and they finished at 144, so fair enough in the end. I think if you'd given them that score before they went out, they would have happily taken it. So Nandamiso Shangase remains not out on 1. Courtney Gounden was run out for a single. 144 for 4 final score. We'll take a break from commentary and we'll be back with the reply. Welcome back to the Chatsworth Oval, and this is the reply. Oh, very nearly a first baller for Mudley, opening the batting alongside Annery Dirksen for the Garden Route Badgers. That's Nadine Mudley. Tough chance for Courtney Gowden there at short third man. She got a hand to it though, and we'll feel that she could have made that catch. The bowler is Nombulumku Banetti, the 25-year-old medium pacer, formerly with Border. And so the first run is on the board for the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers. And now this is Annery Dirksen facing the second ball from Banetti. It's a good shot from her. This might well go all the way for 4, and it is 4. So a really good start from Dirksen. That came out of the middle of the bat. And it's a tough chase for the Badgers. 144 for 4 was what the Hollywoodbets Dolphins put up from their 20 overs. They were put into bat earlier today, and there was an opening partnership of 120 between Nicole de Klerk and Alex Candler. That's into the gap as well from Dirksen. Good shot from her. Not going to go all the way. It's a very slow outfield, and they're going to come back for 3. At one stage, they might have even thought about an all-run 4, but wasn't to be the case. So Banetti proving expensive in this first over, having had Mudley dropped off the first ball. She's conceded 7 to the flashing blade of Annery Dirksen, the national side player, of course. Mudley back on strike. 145 is the target. Shouldn't be a problem with the weather, even though that we've got full cloud cover. No rain predicted. Banetti to continue. In the air and dropped. Mid-off got there in good time actually, and just couldn't hang on. So 2 chances going down in the space of the first over. Will that prove costly for the Dolphins? They're proudly on top of the league table with 3 wins from 3 games. It's well bowled to finish the over. Sorry, 1 ball remaining. Been a lot to talk about in this over. And I'll go through the scorecard of the Hollywoodbets Dolphins innings at the end of this over. That should be at least 1. They'll think about 2. It's not going to be there. So really good opening over in terms of run scoring for the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers. But 2 chances going down. 1 a very difficult one off the first ball of the innings, and 10 runs off the over. The second one should have been taken. Mid-off got there with 2 hands and couldn't manage to hang on to the catch. So we wait and see who's going to bowl the second over. It looks like a Mlaba. Yep, Nonkululeko Mlaba, the 24-year-old slow left armour. Key player in this squad, and here she comes. She's got a slip in place. Dirksen begins with an extravagant drive, and Mlaba's really come of age as a international bowler, and let's see how she goes here. Yeah, gets it off the straight. And having played a couple of test matches, it's really given a greater insight into the mechanics of what she's trying to do. Quicker ball, Dirksen can't pierce the gap. It's a good start from Mlaba. You can see that Dirksen is itchy. She wants to play a shot of ball. It's 10 without loss in this second over. Full toss, gets it away. It's a long chase. They'll get back for 2. Mlaba deciding to throw that one right up in the air, seeing whether she get a bit of purchase, but overcooked it. A good start from Dirksen, who's got 10 of the 12 runs on the board. Oh, big shout for LBW. What does the umpire say? Just might have been shading leg stump there. We've got a pretty good angle behind the bowler, and I think the wicketkeeper was heading down the leg side there. Well, that's a really good over from Mlaba, giving a bit of control back to the Hollywoodbets Dolphins. They're defending 144 for 4. I did say I'd go through that scorecard. De Klerk and Candler putting on 120 for the first wicket before De Klerk was bowled by Janse van Rensburg for 68. It came off 58 balls with 7 fours and a 6. And second wicket to fall was Yasmin Khan, who made a very good 18, much better than a run of ball, before she was bowled in the final over by Marte for 18. That was 142 for 2. Alex Candler went a couple of balls later, caught in the deep off Marte for 52. And that was made off 51 balls with 3 boundaries, 143 for 3, and it finished 144 for 4 when Gounder was run out off the last ball of the innings. 144 for 4, best of the bowling coming from Kaya Marte, 3 overs, 2 for 16, and Janse van Rensburg, shout for LBW, turned down. Janse van Rensburg, 3 overs, 1 for 19. Those were the wicket takers. Nobody really looked like they were a threat with ball in hand for the Badgers. And in some ways, I think maybe they'll be relatively happy with 145 to chase. Could have been a lot more, they will feel. One down to long leg. This is Ayanda Hlubi in the attack now for the Dolphins. 3 bowlers in 3 overs for them, with Bonetti going for 10 in her opening over. She's been replaced by Hlubi. Going to Dirksen now. Yeah, that's a good run. I can tell you the other game being played today. Western Province against the Lions. Western Province made 198 in their 20 overs. That's a fantastic score. A little bit of a slog on that occasion from Woodley, but doesn't beat the infield. Continues in the air, and she's picked the gap this time, and that's going to race away for 4. That's a really good shot from Woodley. First time she's really middled one. Been dropped twice. Leander Clubby, the bowler, 20 years old now. Made her Test and T20 and ODI debuts this year. It's a good shot through square from Clubby, rather from Mudley, and that's the end of the third over. So good response this from the Garden Route Badgers. They're 19 without loss from 3. So going along at 6.3 and over. The rate required is around about 8. I'm wrong, of course, it's 7. 145, so just over 7 and over required. And they're very much in the ballpark there as Umlaba continues. So we're halfway through the power play. Oh, gone! What a good caught and bowled that is. Oh, that's the quality of the international bowler. I saw one certainly easy chance, one fairly difficult one go down, and that is the end of Mudley. And she has gone caught and bowled by Nonkululeko Umlaba for a couple. Actually, yeah, she just hit a boundary as well. They've taken the score down off the scoreboard very quickly, but there she goes. And new player coming in is Yana Nell. That's an important breakthrough for the Dolphins. They didn't want to allow the Badgers to get away to a dream start. So it's 19 for 1, and we're in the 4th over. Yana Nell, the 34-year-old, we saw her with ball in hand earlier, played at international level, but all the way back in 2010. Now Umlaba, very much part of the current national setup and a key bowler for them in all formats of the game, showing what good control she's got. Oh, it's well bowled. A little bit of turn, a little bit of bounce as well. He's played 58 T20 internationals. You really can't buy experience like that. That's a good hit. Yeah, 1 bounce 4. Really good shot that from Yana Nell to get off the mark. She got all of that. Very noticeable that the Badgers have come out and they're not daunted by this target. They're going after it. Quicker ball outside the off stump, and can't get a bat on it this time. Good variety from Umlaba. Varies her pace very well. And that's a super shot. Is that going to go all the way? Yes! First 6 of the innings. That's a fantastic shot from Yana Nell, who's just come in and has already hit a couple of boundaries, including that maximum. So that has put the cat amongst the pigeons. 29 off 4. 29 for 1. Nell on 10, Dirksen on 11. And it'll be Dirksen to face the next over. So the Dolphins can't afford to get complacent here. They've put up a good score, but it's not necessarily a winning one. So Banetti, having bowled the opening over and missed the next one, is coming back to bowl her second. And she'll be bowling to Annery Dirksen. Dirksen likes to hang back on the back foot, try and play those flat bat shots. That's one more. Now Jana Nell comes in. Fine leg and third man are both inside the circle, and we don't have a slip. Slower ball. I must say, the way that Jana Nell has begun her innings, looks like she's got a train to catch. Oh, he's hit that many a mile. Straight back over the bowler's head for 6. Well, well, well. What a response this is from the Garden Route Badgers. They're not going to die wondering. That takes the score to 36 in the 5th over. They're well ahead of the required run rate now. And Jana Nell in particular has begun with fearsome intent. Goes to 16. I think she's only faced 5 balls. Good fielding at square leg there by Nicole de Klerk. De Klerk and Candler, the opening pair who put on 120. Both together on the onside, saving 1. De Klerk at square leg and Candler at short fine. A little bit of a premeditated shot on that occasion from Jana Nell. Nearly got herself into trouble. But what an enterprising start from the Badgers, not cowed. Sun's coming out now and drying out the outfield. You'll get a little bit more reward for your shots now. So Banetti's actually done well there, conceding the 6 off the second ball of the over, but coming back and bowling 4 dot balls in a row. Well done. So 5 overs gone now. 36 for 1. Player out, Nadine Mudley. Caught and bowled by Nonkululeko Mlaba for 6. That was 19 for 1. It's now 36 for 1. Dirksen on strike, and Mlaba gives way. Coming into the attack is Jade de Figueiredo, 25-year-old, slow left armour. So change of bowler, but same action. Dirksen picks up the single. De Figueiredo went to Durban Girls High. She's 25 years old. I think that's missing leg. Yana now aiming a wipe at it. Yes, you feel anything can happen in the next few balls. Nell is not going to be playing safe. Shielded by Amlaba. Lovely to see her getting such a good reaction when she was picked up by the cameras in the crowd at the T20 match at Kingsmead last week. Full toss, but only worth one. So a little bit of control coming back for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins after Yana Nell began like a house on fire. Can Dirksen pierce the inner ring here? Ooh. Beaten outside off stump, well bowled. Just looked as if she got it off the straight. Did De Figueiredo there? Yeah, well bowled. That's a top over. Coming into the attack, just giving away the 2 singles. Had a shout for LBW. That's the end of the power play. 6 gone. And chasing 145 to win. It's 38 for 1. So that tight over and the 4 dot balls before it have brought the run rate back around the 6 mark, whereas it was up around the 8 mark. So it looks like Ayanda Hlubi is going to continue. 20-year-old, and sky's the limit for her now. Forced her way into the national setup at the end of last year, and played in the T20 World Cup. Bowling to Yana Nell. As you can see, Hlubi's just slippery, got a little bit of pace. Likes to take the ball away from the right-handers. Low. Interestingly, she's bowling into a bit of a breeze, whereas the slow left armers have been bowling with the wind behind them, and ordinarily you would expect that to be reversed. Spinners like to bowl into the wind, make the ball hang up against the breeze, and obviously the quick bowlers prefer to have the wind at their backs. One more. So you can just feel the Dolphins starting to apply a bit of pressure now. Nothing that the Badgers can't overcome. They've had a really good start. It's just gone quiet over the last few overs. Dirksen on strike. That's a good hit from her, and 1 bounce 4. Yep, and that has broken the shackles. After all those dot balls and singles, the boundary will settle a few nerves. boundary's been brought in by about 30 metres. Well fielded, made the long barrier. And it's a glorious afternoon now in Chatsworth. Clouds are blowing away. We've got some blue sky above us for the first time today, and the temperature around 25, 26. Oh, that's a nasty bounce and very brave piece of fielding. Same fielder has made the long boundary previously, and this time gets one in the kidneys. But keeps it down to a single. That's the important thing. And now, after 7 overs, it is 44 for 1 with both batsmen on 18 and pretty much playing a shot of ball. De Figueroa will continue from this commentary box end. And in real life, she's the sports coordinator for Durban North Primary. Oh, good effort from Mlaba. There was always going to be one. This occasion, the reverse sweep is missed. There's a reason for playing the shot. Third man is inside the circle, so is cover point. So any connection on that is probably 4. And now the straight hit. Candler does the fielding. So the run rate is never out of hand. Well, as long as you're getting boundaries on a regular basis. Now they will scamper through for a bye. Don't think there was any bat on that. Yeah, bye is the confirmation. It hit the keeper on the shins and ricocheted away. Yasmin Khan is the keeper. Oh, shout for LBW, but it's going to be leg byes this time. So Jana Nell has decided that she's going to try and exploit that gap on behind square on the offside, but not working for her yet. Dirksen, on the other hand, she likes to play the ball in the V. Wonder whether there might have been a nick on that. It's the end of the over, 48 for 1 after 8. So they need 97 off the last 12. So it's just starting to become a little bit of a problem for the Badgers, but nothing that a big over can't solve. Both players are on 19. The 1 wicket to fall was that of Nadine Mudley. Caught and bowled by Mlaba for 6. That was 19 for 1. So this partnership now worth 29. So change of bowling now, we've got a bit of spin. Leg spin. Oh, and that's beaten the fielder. Now I should just say straight away that this game moved from Kingsmead to Chatsworth, and the outfield is not quite as pristine as you would get at Kingsmead. So you will see the odd misfield there because the ball is going to take off at a few interesting angles. It's gone up in the air off the batter, and it looks like Dirksen has had a problem, and she's coming off to get some attention. Yeah, it might have hit her. So the leg spinner is Seshni Naidu, and she's started quite well, and looks like they're taking this opportunity to just have a mid-innings break, which would normally be in a couple of overs time. Dirksen is taking some liquid on board, and looks like she's fine to continue. So it remains 49 for 1, and a reminder that they're chasing 145 to win after the Hollywoodbets Dolphins were put into bat. 144 for 4 with half centuries from de Klerk and Candler. And in the end, some good bowling from Marte, 3 overs, 2 for 16. To just keep the score under the 150 mark, psychological mark. And looks like we're ready to continue, so Seshni Naidu. Quicker ball, and Dirksen pummels it away for one more. The wickets have been hard to come by for both sides today. Just 5 have fallen in the match so far. That's well fielded. Short single, and Mlaba shies at the non-striker's end. Good backing up there by the bowler. Looking to hit it over mid-wicket, and missed. The long and short of that. 9 overs gone. 50 comes up during that over. It's 51 for 1. With Nell on 21, Dirksen on 20. And at the same stage of the Hollywoodbets innings, I think it was 64 without loss, so fairly significant extra runs for the Dolphins. De Figueroa to bowl her third over. Goes wide of the crease this time, drags it down though, and that'll be 4. Yeah, I think she was targeting leg stump there, but it was short and drifting past leg stump, and a free hit really for Jana Nel, and that's her 4th boundary. Yeah, well fielded. Player inside the circle there is Courtney Gowden. Oh, straight up in the air. Gowden's underneath it. Can she make the catch? Yes! Good take from Gowden. And a wicket for De Figueroa. And that is the end of Jana Nel for 21. And the score is 55 for 2. And we're in the 10th over. So good comeback by De Figueroa, who gave away a boundary with her first delivery. And a new player coming to the crease now is Michaela Andrews for the Garden Route Badgers. Well, an important breakthrough there by Jade De Figueroa. You could just see that Nell and Dirksen were busy trying to really take the attack to the bowlers. And Nell didn't last too long, but she did a lot of damage while she was there, and has kept the Badgers in the game, close enough to the run rate required. Now let's see how Michaela Andrews gets on here. She comes in at number 4. "26-year-old and very much an all-rounder. Bowled pretty well towards the end of the innings. Let's see how she can bat now. Oh, very nearly giving back a caught and bowled first ball, but she'll get off the mark. De Figueroa got as high as she could, but it was always going to be over the top. And now Dirksen on strike. She's on 20. Flatter. Oh, they've come for the single. This is trouble. Gone, gone. Oh, that is sloppy cricket. And there was never really a run there. Andrews looks at Dirksen as if to say, well, you hit it straight to square leg. And that's what pressure can do. So that is the end of Andrews. Run out for a single off the only ball that she faced. And now it is 56 for 3. It was 55 for 1 at the beginning of the over. So 2 wickets have gone down. The new player coming to the crease for the Badgers is their captain, Nicolene Janse van Rensburg. And Michaela Andrews, I have to tell you, is taking the longest time to leave the field. It's very upset with her batting partner there. And I don't think there was any doubt in the umpire's mind at all. I think she was well short. And there was never a run there. It wasn't even that square leg was on the edge of the circle. Square leg was relatively close. And as soon as she'd made the clean gather, it was all over. So to Figueiredo, to the new batsman. And that's a really good over from the slow left armour. And at the end of 10, at the halfway mark, it's 56 for 3. And now the pressure is really on. 145 is the target. So another 89 required, which means that the rate is now 9, which is the highest it's been at any stage of the match. There was a period during the opening partnership of 120 for the Dolphins when it nudged around the 8 and over mark, but it was never up to 9, and that has really put the pressure on. So Sashni Naidu will continue with her leg spin and bowling to Dirksen. Dirksen on 20. Oof. Yeah, I quite like the look of Naidu. She's got a quick arm. Nice bouncy run. Takes quite a long run for a spinner. And Dirksen will pick off one more. Yeah, Dirksen's looked good, powerful hitter of a cricket ball, and seems to have time to play her shots. And she now, you feel, has got to bat through the innings if the Badgers are going to get anywhere near. Naidu bowling a good length. Bump ball. So the leg spinner bowling with fine leg up inside the circle round the corner, and 3 players on the leg side boundary, plus a long off, and 4 players saving 1 on the offside. In the air, oh, just short. It's actually a pretty good effort there to get under the ball. Well, the leg spinner proving to be a really good cog in the wheel of this Dolphins side, just adding that element of bounce and turn. And now 11 overs gone, it is 57 for 3, and after a good start from the Badgers, they've just dug a little hole for themselves. To Figueiredo, let me correct myself, to bowl her 4th and final over, and a really good spell from the slow left armour. Teasing flight. One more. Candler does the fielding on the long on boundary. And this is a real change in the dynamic of the game that's happened over the last 4 overs. Wickets falling, runs not accruing. It's gone straight up in the air. This should be gone. No, didn't quite get there. I think that was Bonetti under the ball. Just getting off the mark from square leg there. Got all of that. Well fielded by Candler. She covered the irregular bounce very well. Kept it down to a single. Dirksen goes to 23. Janssen van Rensburg will pick up the single. She goes to 2, and this should be the last ball of a very good spell from Jade de Figueiredo. Oh, it's gone straight through Mlaba. This is trouble now. 2 boundary riders having to come. Oh, trouble here. Figueiredo, that could be out. The umpire says no. Oh, Janssen van Rensburg always wanted 2, and her batting partner wasn't as convinced. So they've got away with it. End of the over. 63 for 3. Chasing 145 to win. Dirksen on 25, Janssen van Rensburg on 2. 8 overs remaining. So it's up over the 10 mark required now. And Naidu continues. Yeah, that's fair enough. There's a big gap between extra cover and long off. Chips the ball into the space and they take the single. Now Dirksen, he feels she's the one who's got to press the accelerator if the Badgers are going to have a chance here, and they need a big over from somewhere. Oh, well, she went for it, threw the kitchen sink at it, but missed. Well taken by Yasmin Khan. Yasmin, I mentioned, plays for Namibia, but father born in Karachi. Cricket mad by all accounts. This really is excellent leg spin bowling from Seshni Naidu. It's hardly bowled a short ball. She's got it off the straight, and just like that quick arm that is always the mark of a good spinner. And she's done her again. Oh, this is an innings changing spell from Naidu. It's well backed up by Mlaba. Shy coming in. Naidu, just 18 years old. What a future she's got in the game. They'll come back for 2 with the misfield. Naidu comes from Pietermaritzburg. And another one who made her international debut this year. Played a couple of T20 internationals. And looking forward to seeing how her career progresses, because that's a really impressive spell of leg spin. 67 for 3 now. The Badgers have just gone dormant, gone into hibernation, you might say. 13 overs gone, chasing 145. A very bright start for them, but the dismissal of Jana Nel was the start of the slowdown in the innings. Now Mlaba comes back into the attack, bowled 2 overs with the new ball and picked up the first wicket, caught and bowled against Nadine Mudley. And she will keep the pressure on, you can be sure of that. The boundaries have dried up. Singles aren't enough at this stage of the innings. The rate is up at over the 10 mark. And each dot ball being applauded by the dugout now. Oh, in the air and safe. Skewing off the outside edge. But there was a reasonably big gap between cover point and extra, and that's where the ball fell. Flatter and well struck. They'll think about 2 here. It's not on. The boundary fielding has been pretty good for the Dolphins. Given away a few chances with their catching. Oh, she had to dive to make it. It did so successfully. So that takes Dirksen to 29. Total to 72, and there are now 6 overs remaining. So they need to double the score in 6 overs, and that's a tough ask. Yeah, it's now 12 and over required. And the only way out of this is a few boundaries. So Naidu to bowl her 4th and final over. What an impressive spell. She enjoyed both of the spinners. That's in the air. Underneath it is long off. Good catch. Naidu has the wicket. And I very much feel that that is the end of the chances, with the departure for 29 of Dirksen. She played really well, but just got becalmed, and understandably so. The bowling was excellent, and Dirksen caught on the boundary there for 29 off the bowling of Sashni Naidu. And the score now is 72 for 4, and we are in the 15th. Another thing to mention, and I talked about it in the first innings, is that when the ball got around the 10 overs old mark, it wasn't flying off the bat as it had been when it was new and hard. It became more difficult to find the boundary, so new player coming to the crease for the Badgers is Vuyo Bonya. She will not have any time to set out her stall. Former player with Border. And 72 to win in 35 deliveries is the equation, so 12 and over. Yeah, it's a nice way to get off the mark, just a confident push to mid-on for one. Janssen van Rensburg in the air and safe, landing between the two boundary riders. They'll come back for 2, and that's good running. Oh, another one that on another day might stick, but you've got to be brave diving at the ball in those conditions, and Ayanda Khlubi, more importantly, making sure that it didn't go for runs. Chance of 2 again here, the ball landing, and they decide against it, and probably a good decision. That's a good throw coming in from Bonetti. Oh, very impressive spell this from the 18-year-old leg spinner. She's finished her 4 overs, picked up the important wicket of Dirksen, and showing the reason why she's been recognised at international level at such a youthful age. And when we look back on this innings, it'll be the 2 spinners bowling in tandem, Naidu and De Figueiredo, who really strangled the life out of the innings, and now Mlaba, who bowled 2 overs with the new ball, coming back to bowl her 3rd, and now her 4th and final over will be the 16th of the innings. It's a very odd to see the the way that the Badgers began the innings and how it's just gone quiet. They can't get the ball away, and just taking all the pace off the ball makes it a very difficult task. Well fielded. It's just not happening now for the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers. Good shot. Not going to be 4 though. Well fielded by De Figueiredo. Good arm from her as well. Well, that's good stuff from Nonkululeko Mlaba. She's got a hit for a couple of boundaries in her second over today, but came back now to take over from De Figueiredo and just continued to apply the stranglehold to the innings. And the Garden Route Badgers, who at one stage were well on course just before the halfway section, and they were 1 wicket down and playing plenty of big shots. Since then, since the dismissal of Jan Nel in the 10th over, things have just stopped, and it's now 78 for 4, and we've had 16 overs. Change of bowling. And this looks like the captain, Shangase, coming into the attack to bowl her off breaks. And she'll be bowling at Bonya. One more. None to be so. Shangase leading the side today, the 28-year-old. 10 T20 internationals to her name. Good spank down the ground from Janse van Rensburg. One more. The Dolphins won't worry about singles. It's 81 as we approach the end of the 17th over, and the target is 145. Again, nothing more than a single. Well placed field for the Dolphins. The bowlers have bowled well to the field as well. And that is the end of over number 17. So 3 left. But they need 63 off those 18 deliveries. And that really is a bridge too far. Even though they've got 6 wickets in hand. That's just asking way too much. Got a change of bowling. This is Kiara Fisher coming on. More spin, off breaks. Old girl of Durban Girls High. Oh, straight up in the air, and it doesn't carry. Janssen van Rensburg stopped her shot there. Good crisp drive, but it's only worth one. Fisher going round the wicket to Bonya. Bowled. So you can't blame the batter there. She knew she had to get on with it, and that is the end of Bonya. Gone for 5. And bowled by Fisher. 83 for 5 now, and we're in the 18th over. So the wickets to fall, let me go through those. Mudley caught and bowled and Mlaba 6, that was 19 for 1 in the 4th. Nell caught Gowden, bowled to Figueiredo 21, that was 55 for 2 in the 10th. And that was the wicket that started the problems, because Nell had really got on with it. And then in the same over, Andrews was run out, being called through for an unnecessary run by Dirksen. That was 56 for 3 in the 10th. And then Dirksen was caught at long off the bowling of the leg spinner Naidu for 29. That was 72 for 4 in the 13th. And then Bonya bowled by Fisher for 5, 83 for 5 in the 18th. That's where we are now. The target 145. New batsman is Yolandi Simon, who bowled reasonably well earlier today. And she's off the mark with that little dab behind square. But it's all they can do to scamper the odd single. There are no boundaries. And they're going to finish well short here. Dolphins score of 144 for 4. Always looked a good score, not necessarily a winning score. But as it turns out, it's more than enough. Oh, there's a sloppy piece of work in the field, giving away the overthrow. It's not going to make a difference in the greater scheme of things. So that's the end of over number 18. Well bowled by Kiara Fisher. And just 2 overs remaining in the innings. 85 on the board. 5 wickets down. And Janssen van Rensburg can enjoy herself, I think. She knows they're not going to win. So she might as well go down in a blaze of glory against Shangase. Bold. Well, I said that she'd try and go out that way, but she was hoping to make a few connections first. So Janse van Rensburg is gone. Six wickets down now, 85 for 6. New player coming to the crease is Giselle Abrams. Very experienced player, 37 years old. Ten balls left in the innings. Shangase will bowl 4 of them. Yeah, it's just not happening for the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers. The innings becoming becalmed with the dismissal of Jan and L at 55 for 2, and it's never recovered. That was in the 10th over. We're now in the 9th, so in the 19th rather. So effectively they've added 30 runs in the best part of 9 overs. And lost 5 wickets in the process as well. So this will be none from 3 for the Badgers, and it'll be 4 from 4 wins for the Dolphins, consolidating their place at the top of the table. And excellent play from the home side here at the Chatsworth Oval. 1 over remaining in the contest. Hope you've enjoyed it, and if you want to stay up to date with South African cricket in general, go to cricket.co.za. They'll help you out with tickets for matches, with news items and specials, and you can find out about the fixtures in all of the main competitions run by Cricket South Africa. It's cricket.co.za. Kiara Fisher to bowl the last over of the match. Yeah. Really not happening for the ladies from the Garden Route. In the air, and Candler spills it as she hits the ground. Good effort from long on rather. She got there, got 2 hands to it, and she'll be disappointed that she didn't hang on. But it's been a good day for her. Now that was Abrams dropped. She will regain the strike now as Simon scampers the single. Oh, that's a good hit. Oh, and there's another one dropped. This time coming in from the boundary was Ayanda Hlubi. And Kiara Fisher's just a little bit distressed now that she's missed out on a couple of wickets in this final over, but it's not going to make a difference to the result. And there we go. That is the end of the match. So the Garden Route Badgers finishing on 89 for 6, and that means that that is a 55-run win for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins, and a really impressive outing from them. Just take you through the needful of the match. 89 for 6, the Badgers finishing at, and that in reply to 144 for 4 from the Dolphins. The Badgers won the toss earlier today. They put the Dolphins into bat, and it was a partnership of 120 for the first wicket that really won the game effectively for the Dolphins, with Nicole de Klerk the top scorer with 68 from 58 deliveries, 7 fours and a 6, before she was finally bowled by Nicolene Janse van Rensburg. And the other contributor to that century stand was Alex Candler, who batted really well for 52 off 51 deliveries with 3 boundaries. And when she was caught in the deep, it was 143 for 3, and the innings was effectively at an end. In reply, the Badgers were going along well. In the 9th over, they'd posted 55 for 1, and were chasing it down powerfully and well, with Jana Nel making 21 at better than a run a ball, and Annerie Dirksen with her. And when Nel fell for 21, it was 55 for 2 in the 10th. There was a run out in the same over, and then Dirksen fell to make it 72 for 4, and that was effectively that. Bonya was bowled by Fisher for 5, that was 83 for 5, and then Janse van Rensburg, the last wicket to fall, and bowled by Shangase for 13, 85 for 6 at that stage. It finished at 89 for 6, and a win for the Hollywoodbets Dolphins over the 6-gun grill Garden Route Badgers by 55 runs. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. On behalf of all the production crew, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time.